Brad Brownell, one of our favorite guests on 24 Hours, Nothing But Net. Coach, thank you so much for being with us again. It is great to see you.
My pleasure. Good to be with you as always. And I heard you were down there in our gym working on your stroke the other day.
I was. I want to thank you for cracking the door so I could slip in and get in there and get some shots up. That's when you know you got an incredible trust factor, right? I mean, that you would let me in there to get a workout in, and it was a great workout. Of course, I'd love to be in that gym every day working
There you
out.
go.
That's a beautiful place, your facility.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's we're very blessed. Obviously got it renovated about 7 years ago, and it's made a world of difference. Just in terms of helping us with recruiting and just letting folks know that, hey, we care about basketball over here at Clemson too. And obviously this year's run was magical and a lot of fun. And shoot, let's try to duplicate it. Take another step.
I mean, come on, like what just so fitting with all the work and the amount of time that you have spent, that facility, all the things you're talking about to make the run that you guys made. Talk about your run a little bit into the NCAA tournament. It's an incredible job by you and your staff.
Well, it's funny. We didn't play very well. We got smashed in the first round of the ACC tournament by Boston College. Maybe it ended up being a good thing for us. We came back and had a couple of days of tough practices. And you know what's crazy is it just shows, and I've talked about it a lot as a coach, momentum is so powerful. We have a good team. We knew we had a good team. PJ Hall, just a superstar, not just player, person, guy that's been with me his entire career. Chase Hunter, another guy, been with me his entire career. Just, and then adding Joe Girard, a really good player. So we knew we had good pieces, good players. We just needed to kind of get started. And if we could win a game, we thought we could advance and do some big things. And, you know, it's funny, this was a team that I talked about before the season privately. I told our team I thought we were good enough to make a Final Four. And I kind of reminded them of that before the tournament, even though we just had a very poor outing against Boston College. And I think it just kind of reset us. And again, once we played extremely well against New Mexico and won that game going away, you could almost see the confidence and a little bit of the pressure kind of, you know, release from our guys' shoulders. And it's like, hey, let's just go have fun. Let's just play loose. Let's get after it. And certainly we played our best basketball in the NCAA tournament.
Well, you certainly did, and it was a fun ride to watch. It was very enjoyable for fans, and it definitely was for those of us around the game. We couldn't be more happy for a guy like you to have a chance to take your team that deep. I mean, and to see that you're so close, right? I mean, it's just there's so many factors that go into being able to win at that level, and it's not just the talent. There's so many other things. Each year, it seems like there's a building process for you, Brad. I personally am tired of hearing people say, oh, Brad Brownell, he's an underrated coach. I think I told you this during the season. That's a bunch of crap, man. Come on. I'm tired of hearing people say that. Like, why would people say that? You continue to, if you're paying attention and you're watching what's happening and you're listening, you can see the progress each year. Well, how do you feel about all that? Like in your vision, where you're going?
Yeah, I don't worry about the outside noise too much. I've been in this long enough to know that that doesn't do much good. So, but no, I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish here, and certainly this year was kind of an exclamation point. You know, we had a Sweet 16 run back in 2018, and that team.
I was on the call for those. So
Yes, you were.
for
Those big
those.
wins, beating Auburn there to go to the Sweet
Yeah.
16 out in San Diego, and you know, I thought that team had a chance to go to the Final Four. Dante Grantham, really our best player that year, tore his ACL at the end of the season and didn't get to play in the tournament. And so I know it can be done. I'm just really proud of the kind of kids we recruit, kind of program we have, graduating all our players. We just got my grades. We had a 3.2 team GPA this year. I mean, just phenomenal. Our guys do all, you know, are about the right things. I think our program is. It's why we've had some longevity, and you know, our Clemson grit motto of just sticking with things and persevering and you know, overcoming some obstacles, not being afraid to take on challenges. We really have tried to do that here, and the kids that stay, we think, really develop both on and off the floor, and you know, and our success this year really helps kind of set the tone for the future.
Don't you think that's Clemson? Because to me, you just described the culture from the top down with Jim Clements and
Yeah.
Beth, and what Clemson has developed into from a cultural standpoint. You're right. It's not just football. There are a lot of things there that are working really well. Is that Clemson?
Yeah, it is. And that's part of why I've stayed. It's just, some of these values behind me on our culture of commitment, integrity, work ethic, sacrifice. Those are some things we talk about here. I think those things are about what Clemson's about. You know that my two daughters both graduated from Clemson. So, we're all in, as Dabo likes to say, and certainly bleed orange around here. But it's because we believe in the values of this place. I love and I'm humbled to be the coach here. It's a tremendous honor, and to compete in the ACC like we do is, I love that challenge as a coach. But this place fits me, and I love what it stands for. We have tremendous alignment from our board of trustees to our president, President Clements, to Graham Neff, our athletic director, and that's why you see so many of our programs, being so successful. We've got all kinds. I mean, obviously, our soccer team won the national championship. We've got all kinds of teams that are in NCAA tournaments and doing very well, and top 20 programs all across the campus. So there's a reason. It's because of the values. It's because of the alignment. It's because everybody's pulling together, and it's really a special place to live and go to school and work. And again, I'm blessed to be here.
And we know that firsthand, the Antonellis do, because of Frankie's experience, his
Yeah.
5 years of school, and then his 2 years that he's lived there independently with support. I know you see him around,
Oh yeah.
and I know you see him in some of the restaurants and places that he works. That is why the Clemson Life program has been successful. Exactly what you defined. Families like ours can drop off their kid that has some challenges, some intellectual disability or physical disabilities, and know that they're going to be safe inside a
Yeah.
culture that cares. It's amazing. Like Frank and I shake our head every day. Like we just can't believe what Frankie's been able to do.
Well, it's remarkable, and unbelievable success stories all around, the community. And it's to watch these kids go to school in the Clemson Life program, but then transition and to be able to live on their own in our community and elsewhere. Stephen Fleming was one of our first Clemson Life managers, and he's working with the Atlanta Hawks down in Atlanta on his own. I mean, just like that's remarkable. We just, it's so fun to see Frankie downtown, living on his own, living his best life. I mean, nobody is happier. Nobody's having more fun. Um, all those
Yeah.
kids, I mean, they just bring such joy, and, they're just so kind, and they always come up to you with a smile and excitement, and so happy to see you. It's like we could all treat each other like they do. The world would be obviously a much better place. They're just so caring, and, the positive attitude and enthusiasm. It's remarkable that every day, and it's every day, they're all like that. Alex Evelyn was our recent graduate this year. We just had a little party for him downtown and went there with a bunch of the Clemson Life students and celebrated. And I mean, he just comes into every practice and is just excited and happy to be there. And it's just the gift that they give all of us is something that it makes you take a step back and make sure you think about your blessings.
They have all learned to be good teammates because they do pull for each other and they are happy for each other's success. And that's a good definition of a good teammate. And that's what Special Olympics is about helping them organize and socialize, be able to compete and train, to be able to hang out together and to find friends. And sport also gives you that confidence that you need. That's why this event for us is so important. That in year 6, Brad, we're getting ready to cross $1 million for Special Olympics, which is not something that I ever thought we would ever. I didn't wasn't even in thought in my conversation at all. When you think about Special Olympics and your experiences with it and what you've watched us do with this event, what thoughts come to your mind?
First thing, how proud I am of you, and all that you do, and the voice you give, and the consistency of message. And it's just I love that you're using basketball as a way to do more, right? I mean, that's obviously what we all try to do in our jobs and our lives, and understand, especially as we continue to get older and supposedly a little more mature. We have so many other, responsibilities that we need to make sure that we're paying attention to. And to watch you and your enthusiasm, excitement is contagious. it's fun to be a part of it. It's fun to watch it. I'm just so happy to be a part of it, as small as it is, and to see you do what you do. And obviously the relationship that we've developed over the years because of your coming up here with Frankie and doing games and being around. And, I'm just, again, you're the one that deserves the shout out, the kudos. You're the one that's making all this happen, you and your husband and your family. And thanks for making our community better.
Well, it's important to help other families, right? That's what we're doing. We've been able to benefit from it. Frankie's benefited from it. Frankie is a great role model for why sport is so important, because he learned so many lessons through Special Olympics. And we've learned a lot from you. And I always learn something from you, Brad. So thank you for taking the time today. And thank you for being such a great ambassador, not just for basketball, but for the ACC and everything else, and for leading from the front. The league is lucky to have you. Clemson's lucky to have you. And I appreciate your friendship.
Well, thanks so much. Always good to be a part of it. Can't wait to see you soon.